This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 668, Dreams Unfolding, The Pretty Peach, by Sarah Parker with ThisWondrousLife.com. And I'm Dan. I am your host and narrator here, bringing you these great blogs on entrepreneurship every single day, including weekends and holidays. And right now we're going to get right to it as we hear from Sarah Parker and start optimizing your life. Dreams Unfolding, The Pretty Peach, by Sarah Parker with ThisWondrousLife.com. I'm Sarah, owner of The Pretty Peach, a wax studio in NorCal. My journey to being a business owner started about 10 years ago with finding my passion. I was in my early 20s, pretty jaded, a barista at Starbucks, and just got done with doing a 3-year ministry program. I was, by all official purposes, a licensed reverend, but no one was knocking on my door to serve or employ. The jaded came with the realization that no one was very impressed with those qualifications. I felt completely unwanted and underqualified in virtually every area of my life. So I did what most early 20-somethings did in the mid-2000s. I got a job at Starbucks. They had insurance available for part-timers, flexible hours, and all the caffeine and whipped cream you could want. Looking back, I cringe massively and have so much empathy for that version of myself. I had all the training from the ministry school I attended, but nowhere to put an application. You don't know what you don't know, and I didn't know what I wanted. That is, until I met Deirdre. She's strikingly beautiful, intimidating as all get out, oozes confidence, and always ordered a venti 4-pump, non-fat, no-whip white mocha, a mere $4.45 back then. She rolled up in her Lexus, I would start steaming the milk, and we'd chat. We talked for months about everything from milk burns to music to her going natural with her hair. One day, we were discussing what I thought about working for a corporation and if I planned on moving up in the company, when she asked a question I'll never forget. "Sarah, what is it that you love?" I remember being thrown off. I wasn't expecting that, and was somewhat angry that I knew I didn't have a real answer for her. My reply was a tad snark-tinged, I can't tell you what I love, but I can tell you what I hate." "Okay, what?" I took a deep breath and found myself saying something I didn't even know was in there, down deep past all the hurt. "I hate it when women don't love themselves." She had the brilliance to give that a due pause and let that really land on both our hearts, and said, "Good, really good. Now, how does that generate an income?" I had no idea. She said, "No worries. I'll be out of town for a couple weeks. Do some soul searching and Googling, and I'll come back for another white mocha." When she came back, I told her I wanted to be a hairstylist. I always liked styling people's hair, and had dealt with enough bad hair and bangs throughout the 90s that I wanted to pay it forward to the next generation. She laughed and asked where a cosmetology school was in town, how much it would cost, and how long it would take. Again, I didn't know. She would be back in a couple weeks, expecting all the particulars. Not wanting to disappoint, I found them all out. Next thing I knew, I was enrolled into beauty school, and trust me, there's plenty of dropping out. I absolutely hated it. We all did, actually. But we knew it was a necessary evil to get to the promised land of a good salon. But when those excruciatingly long 1,500 hours were over, I realized that I didn't want to be a hairstylist at all. I loved the spa side too much. I'm enough of a rebel that I really don't like being given a list of crazy rules to follow, especially if they're the because I said so type. I just can't. I used to believe that to rehearse a list in your head of things you don't like about a job, the things only upper management could change, is negative or ungrateful for the simple privilege of employment. And then I realized that that's exactly how a leader thinks. If you want something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. And honestly, as Instagram quote-worthy as that sounds, it's not really easy. Never been done before usually isn't. So I kept that list going in my head of what I would like if I was boss. I allowed people to speak into my head and heart that I kick at what I do, that I'm indeed really lovable and beautiful, everything that I want to give away. I really do need to own it myself. You don't need, and shouldn't be, cocky if you're starting your own business, but you should be able to operate out of who you are and what you're capable of. So, what would that look like? A wax studio that is lighthearted, brightly lit, doesn't take itself too seriously. A place where you feel safe enough to spread your legs and your heart and just be yourself. Welcome to the Pretty Peach. I knew that the details would pan out if I stayed close to the heart of who I am and what I'm about, making people feel beautiful, the details of hairlessness, and the art of quality brows. Another thing about being a first-time entrepreneur was that as freeing as it is to have no boss above you, it's also lonely sometimes being the only one to call the shots. I knew I needed my crew in a way I never needed them before. They let me geek out in excitement, ran numbers with me, listened to my impassioned vision for the wax studio, referred me to a larger circle of people than I could have obtained on my own, gave me legit feedback when I was off, cajoled me when I was starting to freak out, and reminded me that even though this is a lot of work, that it'll totally pay off. It did, and it has, in spades. I can honestly say that the last almost 4 months have been exhilarating, very profitable, crazy, and humbling. I truly never feel like I'm working, ever. The saying is true, guys. I know not everyone is meant to do a startup. I know not everyone is burning to be a business owner. But if you're one of those people who look around your current work environment and shake your head, wondering and wishing that you could do it better, well, maybe you're supposed to. So what is it that you love? Or maybe better asked, what is it that you hate? You just listened to the post titled Dreams Unfolding, The Pretty Peach by Sarah Parker with ThisWondrousLife.com. What's one of the greatest feelings as an entrepreneur? When you start building a team with people who care just as much about the dream as you do, and they have the skills to make it happen. If you want to find those people faster, you need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Find great talent faster through time-saving tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. One of the things I love about Indeed is that it makes hiring all in one place so easy, because when you sponsor an Indeed post, you're 4.5 times more likely to get a hire, according to Indeed data worldwide. And Indeed's doing something no other job site has done. Now with Indeed, businesses only pay for quality applications matching the sponsored job description. So visit Indeed.com/startup to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/startup. Indeed.com/startup. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Thank you to Sarah, who is a guest writer on the site, and thank you to Danae Smith, the creator of ThisWondrousLife.com. Over the years, she found her heart pulled so strongly towards living a slower, more simple life. In a time where we're inundated with a message of instant gratification, where success is defined by numbers and accolades, and social media has begun to define how we live our lives, she desired to build a space and create a culture that shows another way, a more simple and slow approach to life. Through This Wondrous Life, she desires to share her journey with you of slowing down and uncovering the more in the mundane. She passionately believes that the life we live is meant to be lived fully, and that fullness can be found in the daily embrace of simplicity, slowness, and community. So come by ThisWondrousLife.com for a lot more. All right, that is it for today. Hope you enjoyed the post and that you're having a great one. And I will be right back here with you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.